Hi, my name is Keith and I'm known as the Florida Stone Man. Today I'm going to be talking to you about your light offending other people. I've talked about this in the past, and as time develops and my light gets brighter and I help other people become more vibrant and bright, there's common trends that I have realized more so now than before that I'll be talking about and sharing with you in this video. So, I'm going to tell you guys right now, for those who have been working with crystals and you followed, let's just say in the past, you followed the rule of, okay, three crystals, no more than 3. But you realized recently, okay, wait, I can wear more than 3 crystals? Florida Stone Man teaches that you can. So basically, when you wear crystals and people ask, do they cancel each other out? And people will be like, well, that's what they teach online. That's what the enemy wants you to just take it and accept and just have that be a part of your reality. Is just, oh, these crystals, you can't combine them or they'll cancel out. But with all the gemstones I'm wearing, people still ask the question, do they cancel out? I'm like, well, I would like you to think about something real quick. Gemstones in the ground that people say don't go together actually grow next to each other in the ground. Some of them are actually on the same stone. People are like, oh, you can't use pyrite and lapis lazuli together. And I'm just like, would you like to join this geology class with me? Sir slash ma'am. Sir, ma'am. Would you like to study some mineralogy with me? Just go into the biology of some of these gemstones, because these crystals are growing in each other and around each other and just throughout the ground. People are like, oh, you can't combine citrine and amethyst, because citrine, and people will word this, because you have to be careful with people or false lights that will word things in a certain way to the point where you realize that they're talking and it sounds good, but the information's not overly helpful. Like, that's the biggest thing. So you have to be careful with the way people talk, because like I said, the enemy is going to present himself as smart and elusive and attractive, and the words are very beautiful, but they're not very helpful. Like, I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to do it right now. I'm actually going to do it right now. And keep in mind, anything I'm about to say, I'm actually quoting what other people say. Like, for the people who don't watch the full video and skip to certain parts, you're going to get lost in this part, and that's on you. But okay, here I go. You guys, you can't combine citrine and amethyst. Oh, you can't do that. No, I would never combine citrine and amethyst. You know, the citrine is of the higher chakras. You got to think of the higher chakras as the connection, the gateways to the heavens. And the citrine has to do with the lower chakras. It has to do with the ground. It has to do with grounding elements. It has to do with connecting to that element of manifestation, and that's in the physical world, in the 3D present reality. But we're talking about amethyst. That has to do with the crown chakra. You're trying to combine the spirit of the body and the mind in a place where they don't combine. Those crystal energies do not mix well together. You can't mix them together, or you're going to get a vibration that clashes the two. They're not going to fit together. Your manifestations are going to be off, and things about you're not going to understand why your manifestations are not coming true, because you're combining with the amethyst, with the citrine. And the thing is, if you get what I mean, you can't combine these two crystals, because that creates some kind of crystal element of chaos. Like, you can't do that. Like, I've seen someone combine these 2 crystals before and they got divorced with their wife. Like, you can't do this, because you're taking energies, because the citrine's about speeding things up, and that's the chakras near the fire, versus the amethyst is the chakras near the heavens and near the waters and the ethers. So you're attracting these energies you don't want to be attracting, because you are mixing energies that are not supposed to be mixed. And because I'll see people, I'm going to end this right now, because I can't take this anymore. I see people talking like this online. People who have no business. And keep in mind, this person has never worn either of those outside of their videos, or outside of when they're trying to sell their crystals. So these people are talking about crystals they barely wear themselves, let alone they don't wear any crystals at all. They're doing it as a show. Unfortunately, that's a lot of what you see in spirituality. And who wants to point out to the person that literally citrine and amethyst grow together in the ground? That's why you have ametrine, amethyst citrine. Like, if you understand how biological processes work, I can't tell you how. Why do people do this? And then so many people accept the information. They're like, yes. Like, Shay, like, yeah, amen, or I agree, or 100% I'm down to believe that. They won't even take it for a grain of salt. They'll just be like, I'm 100% on board. When you should have checked the boards before you got on because the boards were shaky and cracky. But ametrine is a crystal, so that basically counters that point. So it's amethyst and citrine. The point being, the enemy will disguise himself as people presenting themselves to you guys. And the point is, people don't want you getting your vibration brighter. Because when you get your vibration to a certain point, you're going to seem weird. You're going to seem disgusting. You're going to seem repulsive. You're going to seem alien-like. Most importantly, alien-like. You're going to seem too different. And I talked about the biggest sign of spiritual awakening is that you're very different than everyone else. And it's your job to change the world no matter how different you might be perceived. The difference between that is, why is your light so bright? It's because your hands were so receptive to major blessings that you're able to hold the blessings and help other people out who are not able to hold the blessings and teach them how to be able to hold the blessings only if they're receptive. I have encountered it so many times. And let me talk about this. Before I go into this example, for those people who actually wear more than 3 crystals, once you get to crystal number 4, depending on the crystal, but in crystal number 5 and crystal number 6, and you're in multiple crystals, the world around you begins to change. You notice that everyone around you is starting to act different. People who normally had something bad to say to you, they're looking at you like it looks like they can't talk, because they can't, because they're biting their tongue. The crystals are very vicious with negative energy, so they take care of all of the negative energy before it reaches you guys. So that's already your light shining bright. So your vessel measures how much you can intake light. So if you're receptive to all the light, then you're going to keep shining. You're going to keep shining bright. You're going to keep glowing. You're going to illuminate. You're going to actually blind everyone around you. And it could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing, because you'll blind someone, they'll rub their eyes and be like, okay, I can see now. Okay. Oh, I see what you're talking about. Versus you blind them, they keep trying to look away. They're getting blinded as they turn away, and it's disgusting them. It's offending them. What you're doing is weird. Like, let's just say, because a lot of you have, what's your desires in this world? Like, things that are good are actually from past lives. So let's just say you loved spiritual healing, or you loved helping people spiritually in your past lives, and it trickled over to this one, and you want to do the same thing here, but now you're in a family full of people who just don't accept that, and that's weird. That's, people use the words demonic and satanic. Keyword, people will try to use the Bible against people. Those people have not read the Bible at all. You can quote anything from the Bible other than just a verse. Those people have not actually gone into the Bible. The thing is, you're not supposed to put your neighbors down. You're supposed to love your neighbors. And you're not supposed to try to be the judge. People will try to become the judge to put other people down because their light is glowing. So when they see people wearing crystals, oh, that's demonic, that's satanic, oh, that's horrible, and they'll say, you're going to go to hell, and your family's going to go to hell, and listen, these people are not supposed to be saying that. They can give a message, they can share the message and love of God, but the second they start trying to become the judge and try to put other people down, especially at an ego, when you know that person's not perfect themselves, that person is obviously showing you they're offended by your light, and that light is actually illuminating, shining so brightly that it's making some of their demons very obvious to them. And what happens when someone has a problem? Let's just say if someone has a problem and they feel overweight, what kind of insult are they going to make towards others? Haha, look at her, or haha, look at him, he's fat, or she's fat, because that person feels fat on the inside. No, nothing doesn't come from the inside or goes on the outside. When you say a comment towards someone, it can't be projected to them unless you have been receptive about it to yourself. If that makes sense to you guys. So these people, you will have people spitting and hissing and people will act very weird around you. You'll notice certain people can't approach you when your light is shining brighter. And some symptoms of your light shining brighter is you're kicked off certain foods. You can't go certain places without being happy. Like you used to go to let's just say you used to go to the club with your friends, right? And now you're uncomfortable there because when you drink alcohol, you have a different perception of the club. You're like, wait, there's other things in this club besides just people. It's like you can perceive the angelic realm more, the spiritual world more, etc. But you're going to And the Earth is constantly going like this. It's shifting. So people who are on this plate, which is the rising plate, are going to go rising. But if they're not able to take the altitude of the plate rising, they're going to jump down and go on the lower plate because it's easier. Another symptom of your vibration raising and your light shining brighter is your body kicks you off certain foods. You find yourself alone a lot. You mess with technology without trying. Certain objects around you move without you even trying to move them. I meant to put that in yesterday's video, but I'll put that in tomorrow night's video. But when your vibration rises, the world's gonna seem a lot different, way more different to you, and your mind will be a lot more open. A major requirement is you must be close to God, and you can't just say, "Oh, universe, oh, ultimate reality." No, you have to. God is above everyone and everything else, and He deserves His glory. Especially if you want to work with angels, you can't go around that. You're not going to. You try to talk to God, you try to talk to angels without going to God first, they're not talking to you. They'll keep helping you, they'll keep directing you, but they're going to direct you closer to God. If you're working with something that basically says, well, you're the God, right? That's you have the power. God's in you and around you, and starts taking away from the message of God. That's a fallen angel. It used to be an angel, so it knows how to talk. It's been around a lot. It knows humans more than humans know humans. Let's just say that. It has all the time in the world, literally. But that's a symptom of your light shining brighter and brighter and brighter, is that you're aggravating people. You feel alien-like. And you have to keep in mind, another check is what you're doing bringing you success in any way? So if what you're doing is bringing you success, you're moving closer to God, most importantly, because He helps you with your success. And then everything else after that gets better and better and better. But you'll notice people around you, because most of these people are in the darkness when they think they're in the light. And all it takes is for you to come along and flash them a little bit and they'll get angry. What happens if you turn on? Because some of these new, let's just say, some of these, like let's just say you have a Hummer and you turn on the lights. The lights are like, oh, what the? Who's driving that Hummer? Oh, how dare they? And then people start cursing at the Hummer, and it's like, I just turned on my lights. And that person's used to not seeing any other light because that Hummer has super bright lights, which they do. And the person in the Hummer is like, well, I just turned it on. That's it. You just turn on your light. That person's used to seeing other lights that are not as bright. So even, and this is a really interesting point, even in the spiritual community, you will come across other people who are lights who are not expanding as fast as you, and you're still going to blind them just because, okay, now you're out of the darkness, you don't have any dark people around you. Even though you have other people of light around you, certain lights are brighter than other lights, let's just say that. So the brighter lights, like the super LEDs, are going to blind the LEDs, and the LEDs are either going to catch up or be irritated and find another place to shine where it seems like they're the brighter one. The analogy of light is very important in this, because the first time you guys ever see an angel, you should see light, not a fancy show. Well, it's different for everyone, but angels appear as light because they are beings of light. If you ever see an angel standing, it's usually a light shadow. It's a blinding white light. When you see angels, a lot of you probably can see angels, but you just don't believe you're seeing them. But it's light. The brighter the light, the more aggravated the person or entity. Same thing with this is one thing that I've seen from other people who can perceive or used to be able to perceive angels, or because some people will temporarily be able to perceive angels, and once they pass certain vibration tests, they'll just perceive demons or spirits. This happens to a lot of people. When you work with Saint Michael the Archangel, the one thing that demons have to say when you have Saint Michael close to you, because you most importantly are close to God, is the demons or the fallen angels, alternate names, will say, oh, he shines so brightly. And they'll make fun of how brightly he shines. That's literally, when a demon makes fun of Saint Michael the Archangel, it's like, look how brightly he shines. It's kind of like a double compliment, but it's kind of offending them. So they don't have any ammo to insult the highest angel. So does it mean just because someone's making fun of someone else's light that you're doing something wrong? No, you're just shining, so your light is offensively bright. It's like, ah! Ah! It's like, you don't have to do anything. You're going to make people mad. That's the essence of this video. You're going to aggravate people. You're going to make people uncomfortable. You're going to make people not happy with themselves because you're just being you. You're moving closer to God, most importantly. And people have very illegitimate relationships with the Creator. People have relationships that are not sincere or honest with God, and they'll try to put others down. But when it's a real light or any kind of light shines upon them, or they bump into a real light, or real light as in people or angels, because even when you talk to St. Michael the Archangel, the first thing he'll say to you is, okay, talk to God first. You're not talking to me first. Like, you got to talk to him first. Like, you have to acknowledge God as the Most High. You have to expand your light and acknowledge that we are just humans. We don't know everything. We're not going to be perfect. And that's part of the beauty of humans. Be the highest version of yourself. Humble yourself. You don't know everything. I don't know everything. The thing is, we are on this earth to experience being able to move ourselves and others upward. A giant thing too, when you're the brightest light of your family, you're going to blind your family. And they have two options. They have the option to run or fight. Or the third option, which unfortunately is the less option. It's the lesser taken option, but they'll join the light. So instead of poking the fire with the stick, they'll add to the fire and help your fire grow and the light becomes brighter. Versus trying to trample it or try to put the fire out or try to run away from the fire. The thing is, all you have to do as a person of light is be yourself to offend other people. That's it. Really, I mean, I wish that wasn't the case, because that's more of what I'm seeing as I help people, as I meet other spiritual leaders, as I talk to other spiritual people, it's just the common trend. The thing is, none of us, like, all you have to do is just be yourself. Let's just say that. And you're going to offend someone. But the thing is, if you're in the darkness, then guess what they say? Ignorance is bliss, but it's not bliss, because just because you're in the dark and you can't see the damage that's happening to you going on does not mean that it's not harming you or that it's okay. So the people who are in the darkness, oh, I see these people, they don't do anything to improve their spirituality and they're doing amazing. Yeah, because they have their eyes closed. When you have an arrow flying to your face in slow motion and your eyes are closed, are you going to freak out? Versus you're going to open your eyes and be like, oh, that's an arrow. That can actually really do some damage. And you move away as in slow motion you see it coming towards you. When the end times come, by the time they open their eyes to see the arrow, it's too late, because that person made the decision to close their eyes and to stay in the dark and not elevate their light. It's a really interesting video topic, but I find this to be extremely interesting, and this is something that I just have to keep taking into account over time. When I first started wearing more than 20 crystals at a time, I noticed people around me were just, like, I would just walk outside, and then people would give me the bird for no reason. I'm like, let me check the planets. I'm like, it's Mercury retrograde, but it's not that. And then I realized, hey, the crystals that I'm wearing, it's literally slapping it's slapping their entities and their demons and anything that they might have around them and them not knowing it in the face. And that entity is reflecting it on them, and that's how they're acting. So you can't take it personal. You can't take it personal. It's not you. You just be yourself, and that's enough to offend other people. Actually, let me add this before the video ends. If you are not, okay, if you're not doing anything to offend anyone, and you're not drawing attention to you, then great. But if you are, you're doing something right. You're shining bright because you're light. Most importantly, this video is telling you guys to keep being yourselves. Most importantly, move closer to God. Develop your relationship with God. And people are like, what do you mean by that? Your relationship is personal with Him. It's not something, okay, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Because people will have a robotic, systematic relationship. But that's not genuine. Find it within your heart to understand that we aren't perfect. That's the essence in moving closer to the Creator. Asking for help. Opening our hearts. Opening our minds. Being receptive to light. And with that, we shine bright. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.